And Andre, a first-time caller in Baltimore, Maryland, on the line over here. Andre, how you doing? Thanks for calling.
Doing all right. Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing fine, thank you.
Hey, I really enjoy you guys. Thanks to everybody, say from JLP, Anchor Baby, Joel, Derek, all y'all shout out. I really enjoy you. I thought you were another person when I first saw you. There's a guy on the internet, no giving names, but he looks almost like he could be your brother. He has like a lot of scientific and inquiry things, and like he was into the Ukraine and stuff. So when I first saw you, I always thought you was another guy, and I was like, why is this guy not doing his regular spit one? And I kind of still fell asleep because the show was pretty good.
Are you on a speakerphone, or can you come closer to your phone? You're coming in really in and out.
I'm not on speakerphone, but I can yell at you a little bit. I'm just sitting in the car.
Okay, yeah. Stay close to your phone. Stay just like that, and don't shift about. And hopefully the signal stays steady. We'll see. Thanks, Andre.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it sounded like my father talking to me. So I was really into the Haden call that he did earlier, but he brings up a thought that I have. Like, I feel like I don't see a big difference between Haden and Kentucky John that much. And I think it's that black Hebrew Israelite guy.
Yeah.
I had tried that when I was a kid, and I have a thing with me. Like, I'm not like other people. I could just sit by myself. And when I was learning that black Hebrew stuff, I felt like it was a lot of hate. And when he talks to you, sometimes I can see that he's joshing around with you. But that's the reason why I didn't get into the black Hebrew like thing. Because to sit there and say to me, like, I'm nothing because I'm black or whatever, and then black people get into power, and then white people did it with all the stuff that he say, like, it's just like, it's hate to me, regardless if he's correct or not or whatever. I walked away from that because you can't just trade in one thing for another. Like when Nelson Mandela took over South Africa, he said that. He said, listen, when we take this government and change it and make things right, there's no room for revenge. And those Africans did not like that. Nelson Mandela would not let those people go after those whites down there.
Uh-huh.
And I noticed that is pure human nature. So hate you feel like I'm always getting the biggest cookie or whatever. So this first, and you feel like you slight or whatever. So instead of you making a batch of cookies where all the cookies the same size, you're going to purposely make a cookie big enough for you, put it in front of everybody, and take it first because you want people to feel how you felt when you didn't get the big cookie. And I don't get how blind we can be and caught in ourselves that we don't see that we do what we complain about. That's why I think that stay present thing that Jesse says is very important. I wish I would have found your programs years ago, but I think God wanted me to come to some of these conclusions myself so that I can accept them and experience them. And some of the stuff that I was mad at that happened to me during my life, it was not in vain. It taught me things. Like, I learned Jesse's thing about racism and all this and blaming white people in my life, nothing but colored people, you know what I mean, like Indians, stuff like that, and women are my problems. And like, I never have had a white man just walk up to me, call me out my name. I've never seen a white man, go out his way to screw me over. I've never seen it. If it happened where I was not unable to see it, and I did not feel it the same way. But when I work around a lot of black women, when I work around a lot of white women of different races, you gotta be that friend and all this other stuff. And if you fall off of that little Richter scale with them, then they're just sitting there plotting on you constantly. Like, I don't know, like, well, your job is cool. I think it would be cool for you to think about your job when you go home. But if we just had, like, I'm a pharmacy technician, pretend I'm a pharmacy technician, and we just type in prescriptions, why would I think about that when I go home? But as an evil person, I'm thinking about how many prescriptions did Hake type compared to me. Did Hake take his break? Extra 15 minutes. I'm all into you.
Wow.
Oh, Hake took his day off, so I'm going to take my day off. It's something about people that do that, and that's why my whole turnaround back to the black Hebrew Israelite people, where I fell off with them. I like that core message and so forth. I love fellowship.
Yeah.
I love fellowship, and that can get people. But when he talked like that seemed like that's just not Bible. You know, like, it just seemed like it's not Christian to sit there and be like, okay, you know what? I'm chosen. I'm perfect. I'm this, I'm that. And you is nothing but an alabaster snake living across a cesspool. Like, how is that better? How is that like, Like I'm coming at you because you came at me like that, and then when we get on even grounds, I start coming towards you insultively. And I really like that. I really in core like what those black Hebrews got to say.
Yeah.
But really, it's like, honestly, like, and one time he was talking, and this is another thing about that black mentality. Sometimes I gotta tell people that if you don't think that you brainwashed, then you probably are. Because how can you be so righteous or so perfect or whatever, and then you can come off with every criticism of people, and it's not just to get on a guy from Kentucky.
Right.
This is, everybody.
It's human nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that. Just stuff, especially the forgiving your mother. My mother, she decided to find her own life somewhere, and left me with my father when I was real young, and maybe about 10 years old or something, I started looking around and seeing how other people was around me, and I couldn't figure out why I was different than them until like maybe a Mother's Day came up. And on Mother's Day, I do what I want to do. I didn't have my mom with me,
Yeah.
And I just started thinking, like, maybe I'm like this because I don't have a mother. I didn't think it as a positive or a negative thing, but I started recognizing that she really did me a favor when she went to find her life and everything and left me with my father. Most of the stuff that Jesse say about, man, my father did that for me. So when he goes into, you need to apologize to your mother, I do disagree with him on my position, me, only me. I feel like I owe my father an apology. Like, Dad, I wish I listened to you harder. Like that type of thing. And I had apologized. I had told my mother that I would never, ever get angry with her about something like that when I was in my mid-teens. And I never understood anything that Jesse's saying. And some of the feelings that I never had, I thought it maybe was me, like I'm robotic. But I'm really realizing now that the emotions are really driving us, and they driving us to hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish if you ever want to have a good time, turn on this Baltimore City news. We got kids.
Terrible, man.
We got kids out. I'm a guy watch my mouth. Jesse made a comment the other day. He was like, them children ain't innocent. They grow up and kill you. I felt like when he said that, it felt like Jesse was listening to me on my phone, and he taking notes out my life. Because I swear it's going to be a day in this city where some grown man that had a regular life, something's going to happen. He's going to be the one to pull out his gun first.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be a tragedy. But when the kids beat up a grown man, beat a man up in the street, leave him half dead, we got a problem in the city. But if me and you go out and we defend ourselves against a group of kids, we two grown men, and 5 kids come to try to rob us, and we beat the hell out of them, they going to try to lock us up.
That's crazy, man. What a life you've lived. JLP says that most people actually don't even have to forgive their fathers because they never really resented their fathers. So
I love my dad.
Yeah, it sounds like you're on the right track, man. I agree with you. I kind of because I've been exposed to some of the Black Hebrew Israelites. Like, I went to Vegas and met up with some along with JLP and some other people. Jesse did a debate with one, Elder Rashwa or something like that. And the way they live, it's like traditional, sort of religious, and I appreciate that aspect of them. They kind of know how to act, but they do believe in the racism thing, and they have there is an anger. It's just like the Bible thumpers, and it's just like everybody who has that evil, prideful, angry human nature that will pounce and hate and puff up as though they're better than other people.
Yeah, and you need to get some of your callers back because I missed the puppets.
Oh, right on, man. I hope to get Joe from Phoenix and hopefully even Mark from Los Angeles, if he so pleases.
Come back, Mark.
Yeah. I think he
Come back to Jamaica.
I really think that he got mad because I kept this black Christian woman on for like 50 minutes and I didn't get to him. And so I understand his frustration. But anyway, it's great hearing from you. Thanks for the call, Andre. Great call, man.
Have a good weekend.
All right, you too. Take care. Oh, man, he got me with the click. It's not even as if like there was not enough time to click to close it. I forgot that Nelson Mandela, by the way, said that, but I kind of knew that, these communists, and he was a communist, I heard. A lot of times these communists will say the quote-unquote right thing, and it is the right thing. That's why, like JLP thought at one point that MLK came from love because he was, oh, a man can never make me hate or something like that. Or I'll never allow a man to make me hate. And I forgive this woman who stabbed me. Didn't he get stabbed by a woman? Something like that. And judge by character and not color and all those things. But a lot of times they do say stuff that Christians and people, the general Christian populace, will agree with in order to deceive. But the thing that they said is still true or a factual or a right thing. Like, yeah, you shouldn't be taking revenge. And I did hear that Mandela was a competent communist. So I don't really take issue with quoting Mandela in that instance, especially.